The field house is really easy to sell. We have great crowds. Everyone seems to want to coach in the Big Ten Conference. If you want to be in the Final Four in volleyball, I mean, you got to be in the Big Ten. So we really had some excellent candidates to visit with.
Very good. How about the football thing? That too?
We're moving along. We're progressing. Everyone gets anxious, but I said all along we're gonna take our time and get the right guy. It's only been 10 days. I couldn't hire somebody if I wanted to until the latter part of this coming week. But I feel good about it. I feel good about the due diligence and people that I've talked to, and have one more to visit with, and then we'll sit down and decide on the best person. And I feel good about the candidates that we've interviewed.
So there's no urgency to do it before the Rose Bowl,
Well,
after the Rose Bowl?
no, there isn't. This is a dead period now. You can't recruit anyhow. We've tried our best and done a pretty good job of staying in contact. That first week that we had recruits in, right after Brett's resignation, we had a good group of commitments in, and I felt pretty solid about all of them. Our guys have done a nice job of staying in contact with them, and hopefully we get a new coach in place, we'll get some momentum and really get everything nailed down.
Barry, did you expect to be more successful in keeping the current staff together, or at least getting them to delay their decisions a little?
Well, they couldn't delay their decision because the other coaches were putting pressure on them and giving them 24 hours to make a decision. And you'd like for them to. I'd like for them to stay, but they had to protect their families. And the coach says, you got 24 hours to make this decision, or the job isn't there. They have to do something, because I couldn't promise them. I couldn't promise them that the next coach would retain them. I would love to. I was so emotionally zapped the other day with some of these guys. I think they all would have stayed. I was thinking about doing it myself just to keep them, but we'd be in the same situation. If I did it for a year, we'd be in the same situation next year. So it was unfortunate. I hated to do it. I couldn't have moved the process. I couldn't have sped the process up. I have to get to the people that I want to talk to. I just have to do it right. And so I felt bad. I feel bad for losing some very, very good coaches, and they've been very professional throughout this. And their main concern is the kids and getting them ready for the game. They've given us everything as far as preparation, game planning, and practice.
Has your short list changed in the last week?
My short list changed immediately because many of the guys were hired prior to our opening, but not really. I mean, we've gone through. No, my short list. It wasn't guys who all. Some of the guys on my short list were loyal to their program. There were guys I wanted to contact, see if they'd be interested, but some guys are loyal to their program, loyal to their chancellor and that type thing, and didn't want to leave their program. Didn't feel it was the time to leave the program.
How big a challenge is this for players with all these assistants now that they know that they're going to?
You know what? The older guys, some of them have gone through. They just went through this last year. 6 of them were new last year, and the year before that we had a couple changes. So I think the older guys, the mature ones, understand that this is a business and there's going to be change. I think the kids have been unbelievable. The kids have been great. They've given us good attention. I just talked to the captains. They said the guys have handled it very well, and I couldn't be more pleased with them.
Barry, how much have you enjoyed actually just coaching these guys the last 4
Well,
practices?
it's fun to be around. It's fun to be around these kids. That's just a great group of guys. It's fun for me to be around the staff, be a little closer to the staff. It's been enjoyable.
Barry, what do you say to the fans who, you have that kind of turnover back-to-back seasons, and they worry, Wisconsin is usually a destination place, and it's, to them it looks a little bit like a stepping stone. I mean, what do you say to that?
Well, the guys that left last year, that's not a fair question because it's not accurate. The guys that left last year, one took a head job and they all got promotions. You had one head coach that jumped, and these guys have to make a decision. We'll put somebody in place. I think, we're spoiled here because we're probably one of the most stable programs in the country. with me being here 16 years, elevating an assistant for seven years. But this happens around the country. I'll hire a good coach, and this program will continue being very good. So for those that are panicking, don't panic. We'll take care of business here, and this program will be in excellent hands.